Having a thought about the notion of wrestling with God. I was thinking about when Jacob wrestled with the angel of God. The presence of God came in a human form and wrestled with Jacob. And if you think about that, I mean, obviously, God could overcome anyone in whatever form he chooses to take on. And when he stood here as a man, he just answered, I am, to several hundred armed soldiers with swords and spears and everything, and they all fell down. All he had to do was say, I am. And the answer to the question, are you Jesus? So here, a messenger of God's wrestles with Jacob. So it's essentially Jacob wrestling with God, because we know the angels have a very similar power. So why would God let Jacob, or you or me, or any of us for that matter, wrestle with him? Because I believe there's a great bit of symbolism there, because we all struggle and wrestle with these things, these issues about God, about his person, about what he does, why does he do the things he does. And he allows us to do that, because in your struggle, God could just show up and just say, hey, it's me, you're wrong, here's everything, here's the way it is, believe me or perish. And he doesn't do that. He lets you struggle with it. And in that case, he is struggling with you, kind of like the messenger or the angel was struggling with Jacob. He could have overpowered him, but he chose not to. He chose to let it be a struggle from both sides, because Jacob saw at the end of that struggle that it wasn't a man. So that tells you something right there, that God is struggling to show you who he is. Because at the end of that, Jacob did realize he had been struggling with God. He found something out through that struggle. And that's what God wants for you. That's what he wants for me. That's what he wants for all of us. He wants us to sincerely struggle with these things, the things that he's put on your heart. And he will struggle with you. He will struggle to try to get you to understand something. And I think that the biggest one is who he is. And then second to that, or if not equal to that, is what he's done for you, which is a statement of how he feels about you. And he's not just going to snatch you up and say, look, it's me, God, believe this or perish. He wants you to come to that knowledge, to that understanding of that truth through a struggle. So he allows himself to be in that position where he has to struggle with you and not just say this is how it'll be. That's why it's so unique to each and every one of us. Each and every one of us, because we're all so different, are going to have a different struggle. Yes, it's to find out the same truths, not similar truths, the same truths, the truth of who he is and how he feels about you. But you're an individual, so he relates to you on the individual basis of who you are. So he's not going to relate to you like he related to Jacob and send a messenger like that and physically wrestle with you. He's going to do according to your personality, personally, who you are. So it just comes down to, are you going to be honest about that struggle, about what it is you want to understand that you really don't understand, that you don't know, that you think you know, that you think you got a handle on, and you got it straight, and you believe because of your doctrine or your denomination or your Bible college or whatever it is that has caused you to come to this belief. Whereas if he is the truth, who else can tell you the truth except the truth himself? You need to struggle with him, and he designed it that way. He designed it because he knows you better than anyone else. And he wants to be the one to tell you these truths. The significant ones. I'm talking about the real big things of God. He wants to be the one to tell you personally. And if you're satisfied with finding it through some other sort of struggle, some, I don't know how else to put it, I mean, just a carnal struggle between yourself and your flesh, or yourself and other people, I don't know if you could really find it that way. And if you did, how would you really know it? It's kind of like if someone else told you something that is true about someone else, a third person, would you really know it the same way as you would as if the person himself told you that truth? Well, God even more so, because he is the truth. He is the source of everything. He is the source of your very life and the potential to have it eternally. And you might already have it eternally. If you're saved, you have eternal life. And that's just the beginning, though. Once you're saved, there's this whole opportunity to know the one who saved you, to know the one, the only one that you might live. And he wants to tell you personally. Don't just believe it because you heard it somewhere by some really intelligent, convincing, persuasive person. Find it out from him. It's fine to get teachings from men, from people. But until you get it from him, you're not really going to know it the way you can know it. Struggle with him. Even if you believe it, it's okay to believe it. But again, you're not really going to believe it until you hear it from him. Jacob wanted to know something. He wanted to find it out, and he struggled. And it was different then, obviously, than it is now. He's a different person in a different time. Now I believe the intimacy he offers to us is profound, and he can show it to you once you really want it, and you really struggle, and you really say, God, I believe these things, and I don't even know why, because you didn't tell me. I want to hear you tell me. I want to know the truth according to the truth, not just according to my religion, or to my family, or my friends, or whoever. Those are all nice things. They're all wonderful. But struggle with him, because he wants it. He invites it. And he'll struggle with you. He won't force himself on you. It's not like that. He'll struggle with you, and he'll become vulnerable. I know that might sound curious to someone reflecting on or thinking about the creator of everything that is. But if the cross isn't an image of allowing oneself to be vulnerable, I don't know what it is. And if you don't understand that, you can talk to him about it, and he'll give you understanding about what that means. He's shown me many things. I've never heard a voice. But he's spoken to my heart. Maybe he will speak to you in a voice. I don't know. It's not for me to worry about. You have your own relationship with him. He may never speak a vocal word to you ever, until you see him. But he can still communicate things to you that no one else can. No one else can. Because he's the source of all those truths. Even if you have some truths and you get them, no one's going to be able to tell you like he does. So go ahead and struggle with him and express your doubts, express your cares and concerns, and even express your religiosity if you want to, and your dogmas and all that stuff. Just be honest with him and know that he's the only one that can confirm it. It's not other people. Otherwise, you could confirm yourself because you're a person. So just confirm your own truths, which is kind of what we do anyway. And these systems, these traditions of men and rudiments of the world known as religion, get it from him, struggle with him, and find out these truths from the truth. In Jesus' name, amen.